In this demo, we will be looking at a model of a membership forecasting tool for a managed care organization. This forecast is broken up into two parts: the forecast for both the membership of all medical plan members of the organization, as well as the membership forecast of the ancillary products or add-ons that medical members can purchase. So the way this model is set up is our medical membership forecast sets the baseline for all of our forecasts for the ancillary products as well. This data-driven forecast that you see on this page is split up by the regions of the organization as well as the lines of business. So a forecast will be produced for every region and separate segment and line of business. The lines of business include group, government, and retail, and are further subdivided, as you can see here. To calculate our forecast, we are splitting up the net growth that happens every month in the organization to membership. We're splitting that up into a couple of different activities. The activities include, as indicated up here, sales, which are net new members joining the organization, cancels, which are members that have canceled their plan and are leaving, and workforce change, which encompasses all of the membership changing happening on the customer side. So mostly hires and fires, things like that. In our data-driven forecast that is being set up down here, we have a forecast that is being produced through a weighted average. We are looking back a couple years at the same months to forecast forward using the weights indicated in this driver table up here to forecast in each of these activity buckets for every, again, intersection of region and segment. The reason that we're looking at individual months from prior years is to account for the seasonality throughout the year. So after looking at and reviewing a baseline forecast, a planner can go into a scenario planning page to begin making adjustments to the monthly forecast. So this page is also divided in by the same level of detail as you saw previously by region and by segment. And on this page, we can begin to start creating new scenarios to test how different changes in growth rates can affect the membership over time. So if we create a new scenario here, this will give us a blank slate to start making inputs. You'll see that we have a driver table up here, which will influence our data-driven forecast down below. So we have a driver for each of those major activities: sales, cancels, and workforce change. And you'll see that in this table below in the scenario forecast, we have all the activities that we previously saw, but we also have pulled in some more detailed information, which is our pipeline. And that is being pulled, in this case, from a CRM tool, such as Salesforce. And this is under the assumption that that pipeline data has been managed either in another model in Anaplan or in Salesforce to get to this level of detail. So in our pipeline information, we pulled that in for both sales and cancels. We're tracking net new sale opportunities and renewal opportunities to complete this information here. So we've split that into both closed. So these are going to be closed won new sale opportunities, and we have their membership here by their opportunity effective date. And then we also have the remaining open opportunities that are still in progress. And we've gotten to this weighted number by taking that potential membership gain that we have and multiplying that by our historical close rate to get our expected membership gain. So those will aggregate up to our total weighted pipeline sales. Similarly, on the cancel side, we are tracking, as I mentioned, renewal opportunities. And so renewals that are known to be closed and were lost, those are going to come through here as closed cancels. Any other remaining open renewal opportunities that are still up for renewal, but we don't know if they have closed and won or lost the opportunity. So this would represent those remaining open renewals, and we would multiply that by our historical retention rate to know how many members do we expect to stay versus leave the organization. So those two will aggregate up to our weighted pipeline cancels And our other two activities, workforce change, is left as a data-driven number, depending on whether your organization tracks workforce change in a CRM tool like Salesforce. That could also be layered in here. So to begin making adjustments to our forecast, you'll see that we have highlighted the pipeline information for the forward-looking 6 months. That is based on a general assumption that the Salesforce data being tracked is generally outward-looking just for the next few months or so. It doesn't look out too far. We haven't started getting in new opportunities for February for 2021 and beyond. So we've set that time range to be 6 months in this case. So for the next 6 months, our sales are going to be coming from our weighted pipeline. Everything past that, we'll be looking at the data-driven forecast. So to begin making adjustments to our data-driven forecast and make changes to our general assumptions on our sales growth rate, how our cancels will look, and how workforce change will be, our driver table up here is split to the same level of granularity as our data-driven forecast. We have all of the segments of the business as well as the regions. So for example, if I'm a planner that is responsible for a small group, and I know that based on what I know in the economy right now, based on knowledge passed to me from our marketing team, our sales are probably going to be dropping at the end of this year and next year. We know that our pipeline has already indicated to us how much is going to drop for the next 6 months. So for November and beyond, I'm going to input a drop of 15% in sales. And I'm going to carry that out for the rest of next year. On the flip side, in the small group space, where this is mainly composed of maybe smaller businesses, our cancel rate may also be going up due to the fact that small businesses may stop being able to afford medical insurance or they've gone out of business. So we're going to increase our cancel rate as well. On the workforce change side, if businesses are still up and running, we do know that it's very likely that their workforce size is going to be shrinking as well. So we're going to expect a drop in workforce change, and this may be informed by unemployment rates based on the industry mix in your small group segment. But let's say this drops by an additional 10% from the data-driven. So this exercise can be iterated for all of the segments and regions within the business, and that will update our data-driven forecast that we're seeing here. As we get through different scenario planning and create several scenarios, I had created a baseline scenario which had no changes, no growth rates or cancel rates changing. And this is the new test scenario that we just created. So you can see how, with the different scenarios, how our total membership will look over time in our out years. So after a planner has gone through a couple of different scenarios and they know which one they want to submit as a final forecast, we can select a final scenario. And this scenario that we set in our medical membership will serve as a baseline for our product forecast as well.